Right guys, welcome to RC Hammer. In this one we're going to be talking a bit about the Traxxas E-Maxx, and I just wanted to cover a few things that I keep seeing come up in forums, people asking the same questions about should I get the E-Maxx, should I get the X-Maxx, Now, I bought this, I got the E-Maxx maybe a year, this is the 6S E-Maxx by the way. Issue is, goes for about 450, about 500 quid where I am in the UK. So for about 500 quid, I bought this maybe just under a year ago, and I did a bit of research beforehand, but I kind of ignored a few things. For 500 odd quid, I want to be able to take the car straight out and be able to perform at least a little jump. I needed it to be tougher. But before I go on, I'm not knocking this car, I love the E-Maxx, but even the biggest Traxxas fanboy will say this needs work doing on it. When you buy this needs work doing on it immediately. Like, I mean, if you take this out and drive it straight away, the chances are it is going to break. I mean, the first time I took this out, I came off of, I mean, you couldn't even call it a jump. I rolled off the top of a hill, rolled over, and as I drove around, I noticed the back was sagged down like this. And it was the shock tower, and the shock tower had broken, and it just had no impact. I mean, I even started to think that maybe it was damaged in the first place, but I spoke to other people and they said, no, that is kind of what this does. So that was the first thing to go, and that just went through nothing at all. I mean, I wasn't bashing. I mean, it was just the top of a hill, it just rolled off it, and over onto its roof, back up, broken rear shock tower. Not acceptable for 500 quid in my opinion, but next thing, I was coming through the woods. This was a crash. Admittedly, it was a crash. It couldn't be said that this was just rolling off a hill. I crashed upside down into a tree, and I broke the, was it the front or rear? It's the front. I broke the front bulkhead. I'm reliably informed the back one will break eventually. So the next thing was the front bulkhead. Once I changed that, I then started stripping out the plastic drive shafts. I changed, I have the Traxxas steel drive shaft across the bottom, and then I've got MIP, which is Moore's Ideal Products. If you're looking for them online, that's Moore's Ideal Products. I've got MIP coming from the diffs to the wheels, and the Traxxas along the bottom. Now, this is all held up fine. One of the downsides to this is this buggy, this monster truck is I believe it's a 1/8 scale. I think the diffs in it are from a 1/10 scale. So the result of all this metal drive line has now been it's chewed up its front diff as well. This is all stuff that I was informed would be likely to happen to it shortly after I bought it, or some of it beforehand, which I ignored. So what I want to clear up today is, just quickly, I'm going to cover everything on this car that I think you need to change to make this a strong vehicle from, like, buy it, put all the stuff on it, and then take it out. Because, believe me, if you buy this car and take it out bashing straight away, you are just going to smash all the bits off it anyway. Normally I'd say take a vehicle out, break the parts and then replace them. Don't do that with this, because the parts will break immediately. Like, you won't be going out for a bash, you won't be having a little bash and then a part break and you go home. You'll be going straight home. So, what I'd say you need for this is straight out of the box. First off, change the suspension towers, change these. I mean, do some research, get what you want. You don't have to go with what I say. I use RPM parts at the moment, and I'm using them because everyone was raving about them online. I've used them for about a year in various things now. They're not, I imagine they're not unbreakable. I haven't broken any of them at all. My Stampede, this hasn't broken, just nothing. They just do not break. They tend to flex a lot more than Traxxas out-of-the-box parts do. So, rather than snap, it just flexes when it hits something. And I mean, they really, really are durable. So, change the suspension towers immediately. I'd say RPM suspension towers have worked for me. I've only actually changed the back at the moment because the front doesn't seem to break, but apparently it will. So suspension towers. Change the drive line you can change. Some people like to just put along the centre, just put steel in there and then keep plastic here. So if anything's going to give, it's going to be the plastic. It's going to be the plastic drive line, not your differential. This differential is not that strong anyway, so I think this is going to break anyway, and I'm going to be... there are videos online about how to shim 6S E-Maxx differential to put shims in it so that it won't strip out, but you have to do that first, and I don't have a video on that, and I haven't yet done it. I may do a video when I have. So, shock towers, drive line needs upgrading. I would put these coloured caps you've got here. These are the Traxxas Ultra Shocks, which I rate. I've had them on the Stampede before and various other things. They don't break. What they do is under extreme jumps or quite heavy jumps, the caps can pop off. Traxxas sell aluminium caps for these. The aluminium caps, in my experience, do not pop off. And I've only ever broken one Ultra Shock in my life, and this is my second Emaxx vehicle. I have Ultras on my Stampede. They tend not to break. They're a good product. So put the aluminium shock caps onto the Ultra Shocks. So you'll need aluminium caps for Traxxas Ultra Shocks. Traxxas do some. They're quite expensive. They work. They've got them in nice colours, so I've gone with those. The front and rear bumpers, you can change these optionally, but aesthetically, they're just painted silver. The first time you touch anything, it just looks crap. They're good bumpers. I like how that works, but painted silver, come on. RPM again, they do a good. They seem to do a good bumper. I haven't bought it or put it on yet, but I mean it looks decent enough. The electronics in this has been good enough for me thus far. It hasn't blown up. This is the Emaxx L6S. This is the Castle ESC. It says Traxxas on it. I believe Castle have worked with Traxxas, or basically Castle have made this ESC, and Traxxas have badged it to go in this vehicle. And the motor seems solid as well. I don't know the ins and outs of this, but I'd say the motor and electric combo in this is good enough for me. I'm not saying that if you stick a Hobby Wing Max whatever in it, it's not going to run better. I imagine it probably will. I don't really know. I like Castle's electronics. I have had them in other things, but it'll do you. It'll certainly do you. This thing is really quick. Out of the box, it's quick, but unfortunately, it's so quick it breaks. So yeah, I'd say those are all the things that you might want to change. It's got two steering servos, which they're Traxxas servos. That I think they're not bad because there's two of them. They seem to do the job. This the servo saver, I believe this called the bell crank is. It is loose already. I've put a cable tie around it to make it tighter. That is something else you might want to look at, but that didn't go. That wasn't something that went immediately. The bearings have gone in my wheels. I know this sounds bad. This is a good vehicle, trust me. Once you've done all the things you need to do to it, it is a good vehicle. The bearings have gone in my wheels, but that's my fault for spraying WD-40 in them and then going out in sandy mud. The last thing I'll say about this is these skid plates have been an absolute godsend, I believe. Since I put these on, I didn't actually put the rear bulkhead on this in the end, and the rear bulkhead hasn't broken. I really have given this some shit. So they seem to be fantastic. That's the centre skid plate there, which goes from the front quarter, and it also covers this bit that for some reason Traxxas left open, and if you drive through mud, this bit here would just clog full of mud through there, where that bit is there. That's not there if you don't have that part on there. So yeah, the RPM skid plate set was about, what, 20 quid or something like that? And you can just see, the beating that that's taken. I mean, it's got some hellishly big scratches in it, as has the centre and the back. So yeah, they were one of my favourite purchases for this, because I mean you can really see what they're protecting it from. Later on, you can go to upgrade all the A-arms and everything like that. Although I haven't soaked these in WD-40, Kevin Talbot suggested soak them in WD-40. Whilst I didn't take them off and soak them in WD-40, I regularly sprayed them with WD-40, and they do feel soft. So I don't think they will break eventually, obviously, because you tend to bash harder and harder and harder. But at the moment they don't seem to be breaking, and I believe that may be down to the WD-40 method. So yeah, thanks Kevin Talbot for that. Yeah, that's it anyway. So that concludes my rundown on the Traxxas Emaxx. I'll do a little. I got an E-Maxx a couple of days ago. I'll do a little video on that when I've actually built up the courage to put batteries in it and run it. So that concludes my video on the Traxxas Emaxx. If you like this video or you found it helpful at all, please click subscribe. Leave any comments you may want to below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks very much, guys.